Kia ora. My name is Sophie Kaiser, and I'm a happiness and wellbeing coach based in Auckland, New Zealand. And I can hear you say, what does a happiness and wellbeing coach do? Well, what if? What if you could have a life where you jump out of bed in the morning, excited about what you do, where you could have the resilience and the tools to always be in your happy zone, no matter what life throws at you. So I'm here to tell you that it's possible. Here is the thing though, people think that happiness is a destination, that if I have this, then I'll be happy. However, happiness is actually a byproduct of a state of well-being. So now knowing all this, maybe you have a bit of an idea of what I do. I essentially help my clients figure out what their happy zone looks like, what that amazing ideal life looks like, how to get there, and how to actually stay in that zone. But today I'm not actually here to talk about me or what I do or my clients. I'm here to talk about change. So how about that change? Change is one of those things that many of us resist. We resist to change because sometimes it can feel scary and, uncomfortable. It can cause all sorts of uncomfortable emotions that we were trying to avoid. And sometimes people go through huge lengths to avoid the change, to be able to keep everything just the way they want it. But here's the thing. Change is a constant in life. And change is one of those things that we just cannot change. So the question here is, why? Why do people resist change? Why is it so big and scary? So I'd like you to consider this. Imagine you are a 3-year-old child, and here you have to understand that all of our behaviors and our actions and our reactions to whatever is happening around us, they're all shaped in our childhood. So being this 3-year-old child, imagine you are in a situation where you are experiencing some really uncomfortable emotion. And, obviously being 3 years old, that all that stuff isn't consciously going through your head. It's all happening subconsciously. However, in this situation, you as a 3-year-old decide that change is scary, that change doesn't feel good, that change isn't safe, and that change maybe makes other people feel hurt too. So in that moment, that 3-year-old might decide that change is bad. So now I'd like you to consider this 3-year-old is an adult now. Do you think that this adult that has had these experiences as a 3-year-old will embrace change? Do you think it will go, yeah, I'm just going to deal with this change. Yes, I'm just going to accept it. Yes, change is good. No, well, probably not. That adult will probably avoid change like the plague as much as possible and hold on to everything very, very tightly. Unfortunately, that doesn't always serve us, or that probably doesn't serve that person very well because, as I said before, one of those, the most constant things in life is change. So the question is, why? Why do we continue to resist this? We continue to resist it because it doesn't feel good. We continue to resist change. And you know what? I can really relate to that as a person. I sometimes resist change, even as a coach. And the funny thing is, I'm not a stranger to change. I love change, actually. And I've lived in 3 different countries. I've lived in all sorts of places all over Auckland. Change has actually been a good friend of mine, but even I still resist to change. And so the question is, what do we do in that moment? What do we do in those moments where we're just resisting that change? And here is a bit of a step-by-step process you can go through to work through that yourself. So the first thing I like to do is, or the first thing that actually needs to happen is to really become aware of the fact that we are resisting. Become aware of the fact that we're having these emotions. and bringing some understanding to that. So really figuring out, why is this? Why am I resisting this? Why am I feeling these emotions? Why am I getting irritated? Why am I getting frustrated? And really get clear on that. And sometimes this is actually a bit of a process. Sometimes that can take a little bit of time. And that's okay. This is not an exact science. This is not about running a marathon and winning it and being first. This is just about bringing some love and compassion to yourself and understanding. So the second step to that is accepting and surrendering, and really accepting on a deep level that this change is going to occur. And one of the best advice I could give is learn to be your own best friend. Be that best friend that sits there with you and allows you to cry on your shoulder or on their shoulder. Love and compassion it's really important to be in a space of love and compassion when we want to try and work those things, especially when they're attached to emotions. So, step 3, what do you actually want to happen? What do you want to happen in this moment? What is your ideal outcome? And what do you really want to focus on in this situation? Do you want to focus on the things that don't make you feel so good? Do you want to focus on the things that are stopping you from going through this process? Or do you want to focus on the positives, the silver linings in the situation? And I know that sometimes it can feel like it's really hard to see them, but I can guarantee you there is always a silver lining somewhere. You just have to look for it. So that's step 3. Step 4 is to really think about what's actually within my power. What can I actually do in this situation? Change is a constant, and change is something that's just going to occur whether we like it or not. But what can we control in this situation? And the short answer to that is all of the time, all we can control is ourselves, our own behaviors, and our own reactions. And step number 5 is take some empowered action, because let's face it, we live, even though, we have a spiritual self, we have our emotional self, our mental self. And it's great to work on ourselves in that capacity, also in our physical self. But we also live in a physical world, and for things to actually happen, we do need to take action. The most important thing is that we take empowered action, and action that comes from a place of alignment where we're really feeling comfortable with not just the decisions, our feelings behind these decisions, and the step that we're taking. And when I say comfortable, I don't necessarily mean that every step you take won't make you feel a little bit anxious or worried. And that is okay. What I mean with comfortable, taking empowered action that feels comfortable, I mean that you are really aligned, that you know close, deep in your heart that this is the right thing for you to do. So here we go. How about change? That was today about change. And I hope that this was really helpful to you, especially at a time in our lives where we are living through a pandemic and constant change. I'm sending you lots of love and light and gratitude. And I would really love to hear from some of you about your experiences with change, whether you want to email me at kaiser.sophie0@gmail.com, or you just want to leave a comment below on this video. Until then, I'd love to hear what you think, what your thoughts and experiences are. But until then, have a fabulous week and see you soon. Bye.